my lovely Pisces people. How are you this month? I know that we're already in it, so, maybe I'm just feeling the Mercury retrograde feels already, so I'm getting all the a couple of days late, but that's okay. I'm trying out this headset microphone thing this month. I did a little test a few moments ago. People said that it sounded clearer, so I'm going to try this out. And I'm going to try not the cord because apparently it makes a loud crunching sound. So if you hear that at any point, I am so sorry. Also, I created a new spread that I'm going to do this month, and it's a lot more in depth, a lot more involved, so I feel like this video is probably going to be a lot longer than before. I did turn off the live chat option just because, I mean, I love you guys, but when those messages come up, it throws off my flow when I'm doing these, so it's not you, it's me. So I'm just shuffling and tuning in to the Pisces energy this month for March 2019. There's a lot going on this month, which is why I really wanted to try out a new spread so we can get a better idea of what we're getting ourselves into this month. We have Mercury in retrograde March 5th or March 6th, depending on where you are in the world. And then we have the very next day is the new moon, and Uranus is officially in Taurus on March 6th for both of those. So I really feel like that's hitting like a major reset, but also it could be a little bit jolting, this month, and then trying to process all the changes that are occurring. But then when you take the step back and you look at it, you're like, wow, okay, this is definitely hitting the refresh button. This is definitely stepping into something new. But I feel like March in general is not a time of action. I think it's just a time of really processing what's coming up. I already got a nice big old shock yesterday that I would have done some of these readings yesterday, but I was spending the whole day trying to mentally process sorry if the wire's crunching, what was presented to me yesterday. And I feel like that's what's going to be going on this whole month. Some major change is coming, and it's going to take us a minute to really absorb it. So I'm just laying out all the cards. So I will angle the camera down in just a minute. Trying to put the spread out without bumping the wire. So I apologize for the crunching. So this is going to be a lot more, thank you, a lot more in depth than the other readings that I've done. And I'm pulling 2 oracle cards, and then we'll be on our way. I have it like written down so I know that I'm doing my spread right. That's why I keep looking over there. Okay, show me the first. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to angle this down. Hopefully you can see all of the cards here. And if not, I will hold them up and show them to you. So you can see that this wire is like right there. I'm going to angle this down a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just going to shift these over. Okay. Okay, so like I was saying, there's going to be a lot of changes. I feel like we're going to be presented with some changes that we need to be open to accepting basically this month. So the theme of this month, we have the Hanged Man, which is perfect because that really ties in with everything that I was talking about in the yearly readings for everyone. If you have not seen the yearly reading, I definitely recommend checking it out for your sign. It's on here. Just, dig through. It shouldn't be too far. There's a whole folder of just yearly readings. So what I was saying in the yearly readings was that in numerology, this year reduces to the 3 number. 2019 reduces to 3, and then it also is the 12, the karmic 12. So it can be either or depending on your energy. And when it's in that karmic 12, that's the Hanged Man. This is a time of reflection, pausing. It may feel a little uncomfortable this month, but it's for the purpose of, absorbing information and for the purpose of enlightenment, really. So this, could be saying that with the Hanged Man, there could be this struggle to want to continue moving forward, but just the energy of this month is really calling you to slow down and just rest, and just surrender to the energy this month and, allow yourself to be. This is not a month of pushing forward. This is a month of reflection and going inwards, and seeing things from a different perspective. So you may be presented with, having to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and seeing life through their eyes. This month, there's a lot of surrender coming in, a lot of reflection, a lot of just pausing and patience. And the challenge this month is the Sun, which is all about joy, happiness. So the challenge is that while you're in this, I'm hearing like stagnant feeling energy, where it feels like, we've hit the pause button this month. Our challenge is to really stay in the joy, stay in the present moment, to embrace our vulnerability during this time, and to just allow ourselves to enjoy the present moment instead of trying to force things to move faster than they should be moving. And this is a very Leo kind of energy here. So our challenge could be in dealing with a Leo, or it could be saying that we just need to allow ourselves to express ourselves in a different way. You know, this is expression through reflection, you know. So this is a different way of allowing ourselves to be seen, you know. So I'm going to start with this card here. This is what I'm calling the Earth card, which is all about finances, career, things like that. And we have the Three of Wands in reverse, and it's really, it's saying that for this month in regards to finances and our career, we could have started down a path, and this is a time to take a step back and look at the path that we're on and see if it needs to be readjusted. The re's are really big this month with Mercury retrograde coming up on March 5th. This is definitely a time to just take, oh, what is the word? It just came and it just went like that. So this is a time of pausing on our trip, take a moment on our moving forward kind of energy, which makes sense with the Hangman here, you know, and reassess. That's what it is. Like, reassess our finances and the amount of financial support we have in continuing moving forward. So, you know, there's a desire to want to continue moving forward, but this is kind of saying, like, you know, let's take a break for a minute. Let's pause here. Let's stop on our path here and just take a look at the long term. Take a look at, you know, where we're going and see if we're still on track financially. So, like, really pay attention to your finances this month. Really pay attention to the career path that you have decided to embark upon, and see if anything needs to be adjusted before you continue moving forward on this path. It's not saying that it's the wrong path. It's just saying let's take a moment and reassess and you know, look at where we're going. The mental aspects of the month, we have Judgment reverse, and this is really, it's almost like there's so much going on this month, like astrologically speaking and energetically. Like, Mercury retrograde has a tendency, especially when we first shift into the sign, or not, I'm sorry, not shift into the sign, but shift into this retrograde vibration. And towards the end, when we're shifting out, it's like we have to adjust to this new energy that is really affecting the way that we communicate and think and process things. So it's a little bit jolty, a little bit shaky in the beginning and towards the end. So Mercury retrograde is March 5th through the 28th. And then in between is just a different way of processing. And I feel like this is, when I see this card, it's all about life review. And I feel like maybe it's too much to process this month. You know, maybe there's things that we need to be taking into account in regards to our past and where we are now. And it's a little bit too much to take in at this moment mentally. Even though this is what we should be doing at this moment, is really reflecting and going inwards. Reflecting and going inwards, the life review may be a little bit hard to fully clarify, basically. And speaking of which, I'm going to clarify this card for more info. on the mental aspects of this month. Ooh, okay, thank you. The Hermit. Okay, that's perfect. So this is really just kind of, you know, talking about, it's like the same thing that I was saying with the Hanged Man. We need to be going inwards this month. There's lots of self-reflection. We need to be, there's a lot of processing going on, but not a lot of expression this month. So we just have to kind of allow ourselves to sit with whatever's happening and allow our mind to kind of accept it. I feel like that's a big theme this month, is acceptance of whatever's coming our way. I feel like there's lots of changes coming our way, and we have to be open to the change. And I feel like it's probably starting in the mental areas, the mental aspects of the self. It's like the mind has to get used to this new shift, and then everything else kind of falls into place a little bit. Okay, so then we have the fire. So intentions and where your passions are this month. And we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, which is all about contentment in the family aspects of the self and financial aspects of the self, where we feel that we are physically in this world. It feels like we have not, it feels like we're complete here. Where our happiness is, where our support is, where we feel complete. So this is something to really pay attention to. So in regards to intentions and passion, I would set my intentions on, you know, for the new moon coming this month. I feel like the new moon intentions should be around wholeness, feeling whole as an individual, you know, and that's when everything else kind of falls into place. Like if you're kind of feeling out of sorts this month and not like yourself and feeling a little incomplete this month, I would set the intention with the new moon for completion, if that makes sense. Feeling like completely grounded physically and supported financially and supported with your family and friends. So just like feeling a deeper connection. And I'm going to pull a clarifying card for the 10 of Pentacles in reverse for more information, please. Like it feels like there's something missing. It feels like there's something missing here that will kind of put everything into place for you. Maybe you're feeling at a loss with where you're going. Oh, how interesting. Yeah, so yeah, feeling like there's something missing because you haven't made the decision on where you're going. So it's kind of saying we need to decide, you know, do we want to base our... So you need to be basing your decisions and your path on where you internally feel strongly about rather than where everybody else would prefer you to go. And releasing this energy of focusing on everything that goes wrong and turning around and looking at everything that's going right for you. So there's a lot that's going right for you this month. We just need to place our focus on it and stay in the positive, stay in our joy, stay in our happiness. And that's when we'll have the confidence and the strength to really make a decision on our intentions. So maybe your intention this month is to decide where your passions, what your main passion is going to be about, in the months leading forward, in the years leading forward, and, you know, deciding on what is most important to you and what brings you a sense of feeling complete. Because you already are complete. So also, intending that this month and knowing that you are complete where you are right now, it's just a matter of having the confidence to make a decision and getting out of the dream world, which is really tough for Pisces, especially in Pisces season. And I feel like once we hit Aries season, maybe that's when it really comes together for you. So around March 20th, around the spring equinox, is when, you might get that aha moment of feeling like, okay, this is where I'm going. So set the intention this new moon for, having the strength to decide. And it's interesting that we got this Five of Cups in reverse because we have it upright here, the water section, which is emotions, love. And it's talking about, when it comes to love for Pisces this month, we need to stop looking at it. It feels like the energy this month is causing you to really, look and focus on the past and obsess on the past, because this is a very inward, self-reflective month, and a lot of processing. It may cause you to go backwards into the past and review what went wrong, which can be good because then you can learn lessons and see the areas where you personally could have improved. Oh, sorry. It's telling me my phone's almost dead. So I'm gonna speed this up. So it could provide you a new perspective on what went wrong in those past relationships, and you can learn a lesson through that. Or it can cause you to just get caught up in, all the negative aspects of, and not really understanding and beating yourself up and feeling sorrowful over what happened when, lots of positive things are coming up in your future. It's just right now we're in a time of pausing and reflection and patience with ourselves. So make sure that you are staying in this positive energy as you're going through this processing hermit energy. So stay joyful, stay positive, stay happy as much as you can, accepting where you are and just embracing the present moment while you're doing your self-reflection. So like when you're going backwards, observing it from a place of non-attachment where you're not, getting, pulling the past and bringing it into the present and then, experiencing that pain all over again. It's like, let's observe this from an analytical point of view and learn some lessons and troubleshoot. You know what I mean? Okay. So I also have first, second, third, fourth quarter, or you can say week, but time isn't set in stone with everyone. Like it's all dependent on people's free will and all that fun stuff. So, just, take it for what it is. We have in the first quarter, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And this is kind of saying that the energy at this time feels like, you know, we're not really being as detail oriented as we could be, and we're just kind of wanting to push forward. There's a little bit of impatience here in the first week. Like we want to move forward with things, but we're not moving. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit of frustration there. And it's because of this hangman energy that's really calling us to slow down. Slow down and just, stay present. The second quarter of the month of March for Pisces, you're definitely going to be feeling like in your element. We have the Page of Cups here. And this is a time of really tapping into your dreams and into your imagination and, seeing what comes up there and, where it takes you. Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of creative ideas coming, you know, your emotions kind of guiding you in a creative direction during the second quarter. You have a lot to learn emotionally, so there could be possible lessons coming up in the second quarter of the month. In the fourth quarter, we have strength in reverse. So I feel like this is when we may start getting caught up in our feels, or, really getting caught up in this self-processing energy where we can be a little less joyful than we really need to be this month. So it's kind of saying, get into your inner strength this month rather than forceful outer controlling energy. Strength this month, we want an inner strength where we have the ability to see ourselves through this situation, through the processing, through the lessons that we need to be absorbing and, analyzing this month and reflecting on. And it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to feel uncomfortable, but it's something that needs to occur so that we can release. It's like observing from an outsider's view, observing, creating, understanding the lessons, and then, letting go of the rest and letting go of the pain. So really tapping into your confidence and tapping into your inner strength to continue through the process. Like, don't numb yourself this month. Don't block yourself from feeling and from processing. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles here. And she's talking about this completion, like feeling like she's achieved a lot, feeling supported, feeling whole. And that's really where you're headed this month, even though it may feel like you're not in the middle of the month. Towards the end of the month, you will feel more complete and more supported than you were in the beginning of the month because you've made a decision about where you want to go from here. You've made a decision about how you want to feel about your future and, what is important to you in terms of your passions and your dreams, and allowing it to move you forward, allowing yourself to follow your heart this month. So we also have, so this is just to wrap things up. I'm going to do it really quick before my phone dies. We have Fresh Approach for the first oracle card, which is talking about, breaking free of those habits that you've held on to in the past that kind of in this cycle of, self-doubt or kind of like torturing yourself with the past. So it's like taking a fresh approach by standing outside of the situation and observing it from that point of view. And then we also have Ideal Course of Action. So this is definitely going to be a month where you make a major decision. on where you're going from here. But there's going to be a lot of processing before you get to that point, and you probably won't really make a decision until the full moon or towards the end of the month. So, lots of information for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I send you so much love for March. Lots of shifts occurring, and I will speak to you in April. Thank you so much, Pisces. Take care. Bye-bye.